you feel there's kind of no escaping them because they're so clever and there's so many of them, and that's their job.
It's just total fear knowing that somebody's out there with all your information, and you think, are they getting loans, are they getting cars?
It was just really offensive, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't take it down, I couldn't stop it because they'd changed my password and they'd logged me out.
They lurk in the dark corners of the internet, and we are all vulnerable to them. Don't assume that hacking is just carried out by spies from other countries looking to get information from big government organisations. Hackers have one goal: to make money, and we are all targets.
This is blocked numbers that I've had to block on my phone.
But how many have you got on there?
Well over 170. I've actually not counted recently, but it's well over 170.
Ruth was looking to invest money and clicked on a seemingly legitimate advert for cryptocurrency.
So why were you first interested in Bitcoin?
It was just always something that had kind of interested me, and I was sitting on Facebook one day and saw Martin Lewis's face, so it looked as if he was endorsing it, and I thought, oh, that must be quite good. So I phoned the number, I asked for £250 worth. You could see that he really wanted you to be taking the money out of your bank account, but I said, no, I'm going to pay by credit card. As it was going on, I thought, there's something not right here, because he was asking a whole lot of personal questions that were really irrelevant to what I was doing. And I immediately had a terrible feeling, running through me, because I thought there's something just not right about this. So I quickly said, oh, I'll have to phone you back later.
This one phone call turned into an onslaught of relentless calls from unknown numbers all over the world.
They started to go into my accounts. Even the wee calendar app I had to delete because there was getting all this porn stuff sent to me, and it was every 15 minutes. You just think, how can they actually access all this stuff in your phone? They tried to get money out of my bank this year. That was really kind of what put the tin lid on it.
So when you realised that they had accessed your account, was that ultimately the last straw, the one thing that should be really protected?
That really scared me. That you envisage them getting into all your accounts and, losing your house, losing everything. You just think about the worst possible scenarios. At times, it made me quite low. Sorry. So when the bank thing came out, I thought I need to do something about this. I phoned East Kilbride Police, and they've actually been very good at helping me with different things. And they told me about the telephone preference service. Since I have done that, I have to say the phone calls are much less now. But I just felt a bit safer knowing that the police kind of knew about it.
Ruth may have started her conversation with the scammers, but for some, the criminals come to them.
Get the phone call through my mobile phone, and the person at the other end says they were from Virgin Media. There was a problem with my router. My email had been hacked and it had been compromised to safety. So they're like, well, we need to secure everything. Your bank card, your credit card.
Shelley was asked to download an app called Quick Support. Despite her initial concerns, the site looked legitimate.
The screen did say you're on live Virgin Media server. So I thought, oh, pretty genuine. So they were in my phone. So I did it, and I was scrolling up and taking things off, and then they're like, right, come out of that. Now go into your app store and download an app called Revolut, and then type in this code.
Shelley entered the code 2050, unaware she was transferring £2,050 to the scammers.
And normally that should have sent alarm bells ringing, but because they said it was a code and it was to access my router, it's what I did. I was like, I said, but my bank account's kind of £2,050 out, and they're like that. Right, click on loan calculator, type in an amount for 4,000, and I thought, here, no way. I'm like, definitely not.
What did you then do when you hung up the phone to the scammers?
I phoned my bank, who's Virgin Money, and I had explained to them what had happened. I'd been scammed, I need you to stop the payment. And they're like, well, we can't, because it's automatically went straight through.
For you, how does it feel to know that there's these people out there that have all this information about you?
They kind of took just about everything that was in my bank account. And, you know, my dad's not well and he had to take a loan out over 6 months so that I could just pay my house bills. You know, and I've got my son and daughter's birthday coming up and it's her 21st, so I'm like, and granted, I'm a nurse and I do work, but it's like, it's just that sense of, you know, you've taken everything away from me. It's horrible to think that you're no safe.
Money may not always be what the hackers want. They may just be looking to damage your reputation.
And Clyde One loves the summer and has plenty to do throughout Glasgow and the West as well.
George Bowie presents The Morning Show on Clyde One. Hackers made their way into his social accounts with the aim of doing just that.
Got my name and my login details, my password, worked that out and basically took over my account and locked me out. So this was at maybe 2 a.m, 25 my alarm goes off and I'm like, all these missed calls, I'm thinking, what the heck's happened? Go on my Twitter and there's all this, just like, loads of stuff, lots of different comments, and I'm thinking, really offensive stuff as well, and just getting worse and worse.
And the attack became quite personal to you because of what was being said.
Lots of sectarian stuff, having to go at a wee Down syndrome boy, which I took very offensively because I've got a disabled brother who can't walk or talk. So it was just horrible, really nasty things they were putting. Initially, the worries think, oh God, I hope people don't think that's me. But it got so extreme, it was like, right, everyone knows that's not me. It's like, and that's fine. But it was just really offensive, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't take it down. I couldn't stop it because they changed my password and they'd logged me out. So I don't even think Twitter knew what was going on. If you said that kind of stuff in the street, you get arrested, but you can say it on social media.
And how long did it take you to get control of your account?
Honestly, it took, I think, about 6 weeks, and it was really difficult to get it back. So it was a lesson for me, but yeah, it is worrying to think that people could just hack in and just do this to anyone. And I'm sure I'm not the only person in the public eye that's had that done.
Password reset.
Jay is a security expert based in Aberdeen, protecting companies from cyber attacks.
We have seen number of high-level breaches, like British Airways, MyFitnessPal, and whatnot. The information from these breaches is available right there. A low-level hacker could just find this information and spray and pray, right?
How do individuals protect themselves then? What are the simple tricks that people can do just to keep themselves safe, keep their information safe?
Change your password to a complex one, or use password managers which can help you create strong passwords. And remember, there are loads of password managers available for free. And for businesses, it's the same. Provide education and awareness for your employees. Not only helps your business, it helps them personally as well.
You've done a vulnerability check, Abby. So what did you find out?
As soon as we got the authorization from you, within few minutes, we found your Hotmail, and then we have found a password for your Hotmail as well, which is very interesting. And then we also figured your social media logins.
What is the password you found out?
It is and this was one of your old passwords, right?
Yes.
Is that, are we correct?
Yes. How easy was it for you to find that?
So we found it within 5 minutes of when we started the operation. It was actually harder for us to find your Hotmail than your password.
Is that quite common? Do people use old passwords for that length of time? Am I actually kind of quite slow in the game?
It is very common. People use the passwords that length of time. So once they set the password, they don't usually change until there is an incident. And then another thing very common is once people set a password, they use the same password across multiple services.
Now you have this information with time. I mean, what could you do? How much damage could you do?
If we can steal your identity, that's it. We have your emails, your information, your personal details. We can even manipulate your bank to, access your bank accounts as well. So we could do lots of damage.
I think unless you're an absolute computer wizard, you probably can't stop these people getting into things. You've just got to be extra vigilant.
It was a real shock when it did happen. And the most frightening part for me was like trying to stop it and realising that I was helpless.
My information's out there. Everything is out there. Date of birth, my age, my address. Go and get help. Seek the help. You know, the police are there.